So if we'll bow our heads, first off, everybody, thank you, God, for this weather breaking the action. I mean that sincerely. Thank you, God, for that. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together this weekend to celebrate this couple. Thank you for Hartley and Preston, and bless them as they prepare for the amazing journey of marriage that starts in less than 24 hours. Relieve them of their anxieties as we approach this grand event, and let them trust in you. Please help all of us in this room support them this weekend and the rest of their lives. And remind these lovebirds and their families that we are all here for one reason, and that's simply because we love them. Help them slow down and enjoy every moment of this crazy next day and to just soak it all in. Thank you for this meal, and bless it for our use, while also blessing all who help prepare it. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful life, our families and friends. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Preston and Hartley, we are so thrilled for y'all. For those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Will Henderson. I'm the best man.
And a stud.
Daniel has a tendency of speaking out, so please excuse him. Preston and I met at TCU, where we forged our relationship in 3 different rent houses in marginal neighborhoods in Fort Worth. Each one only having slight improvements over the other, where we ultimately landed our favorite house our senior year, where we had a AGP, or as Preston and I like to call it, an above-ground pool. And it was just funny, the first time I ever had seen it, Preston got there before I did, and in true Preston fashion, he was testing the chlorine content of our 6 foot by 9 foot pool. And in my mind, I was thinking, wow, he could literally just dump this out and we could start over from scratch in 5 minutes. Preston and I had more memories than we could ever count together in our 7 years of knowing each other, which means I've got to see a lot of Hartley as well. And Tom, I've had my fair share of "Hello, Mr. Will," the moment I walk into the house, one of our houses together, or if we saw each other on a night out, and those were always heartwarming moments. And I know that Tom and Don will know that as well. But one thing I'd like to say is that although Preston and I've had so many wonderful times together and have had just memories that we could talk about for days on end, the most important thing to me is that I got to watch Preston and Hartley's relationship grow, and it was such a wonderful thing seeing 2 people that were actively trying to make themselves better people. And Preston and Hartley obviously took numerous steps, from establishing a church routine together, to taking late night walks, to spontaneous trips that Preston would call me and be like, "Hey, I'm in San Diego." I'm like, "I saw you this morning when I left for class. How are you in San Diego at a Blink-182 concert?" And Preston's favorite band, which I think literally everyone here knows. But the point is that Preston, Hartley, y'all took steps to make yourself better people, and we're obviously already a great fit. And I'm just so thankful that I got to watch y'all in the beginning stages of y'all's relationship, and I'm just so grateful to be y'all's friend, and I cherish y'all's relationship so much. Thank y'all so much. Cheers, Preston and Hartley.
I want to thank the Lynns so much for such a beautiful evening. I'm so excited. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Carolyn Sheffy, and I was Hartley's roommate while at TCU. Boy, did we have a good time. But what a lot of you don't know is that I've actually known Preston long before I ever met Hartley. We actually go way back to 2nd grade, to be exact. I remember Preston was the one who, at recess, he would always want to go and organize a game of soccer or kickball, and he was always the referee. Now, although we ended up at different high schools, I was so excited TCU freshman year to see Preston out at the bar one night at Orips. I remember he came up to me and he was like, Carolyn, you have to meet this beautiful, amazing, super fun girl who's going to be transferring from Ole Miss to TCU. He was literally gushing over her. He wanted to make sure that the weekend that she came was going to be so much fun and that it would be perfect for her. Now leave it to Preston to actually get the entire SAE pledge class and CIO pledge class together freshman year when none of us knew each other to have a huge date night, all because Hartley was coming to town. I wouldn't expect anything less from Preston, though. He has always gone above and beyond for all of his friends, but most importantly, for Hartley. Hartley, you have been such a good friend of me, and I'm so thankful for our friendship. You can light up any room that you walk into, and you're always there quickly with jokes and to make everybody laugh and have such a good time. You are so full of joy, and I love you so much. Preston, you are one lucky guy. I am so thankful that you introduced me to Hartley. I don't know what I wouldn't have done without you. Take good care of our hearts. I love you both so much, and I wish you a lifetime of happiness. Now, will everyone please help me raise a glass as we cheers to Hartley and Preston.
Oh, the special tonight. We're having some seared foie gras after the dessert, so nobody fill up too fast. No. For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Daniel Offenberg, or as I've been known most of my adult life as Preston Hartley's third wheel. Every time, and Kelly, we're the fourth wheels. We're the fourth wheels to their third wheel, to their two wheels. It's like a car that got two flats and it kept running for several miles. Anywho, no, so they are literally two of my best friends, and every time they are doing anything together, they're like, hey, we're going to dinner, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. Where are y'all going? And I just show up, and they're like, okay. Or they'll show up at my building, and it's like the exact same thing. So I'm always just like, I guess we're just like part of each other's lives, which is why I'm really excited to see y'all on the honeymoon. I booked the suite right next to y'all. Ocean Villa number 3. Really looking forward to some quality time together. No. So I just wanted to tell a quick story about how great of friends Hartley and Preston are. So, about 6 months ago, I got home after a barbecue after like 2 days after Thanksgiving, and I was like so exhausted, and I get into bed, and I'm like, I throw in the Entourage movie, I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed right now, and my phone starts to ring. It's like ringing, and I look at it, and it's Preston Lynn. I'm like, no, he's gonna want me to go out. I don't want to go out. I'm going to bed. So it rings, and it goes through, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna keep watching my movie, and then it rings again. Hartley Hobson. And I'm like, I'm not answering. Like, I am in bed. Like, this is happening. 3 minutes go by. Hartley Hobson, calling again. I'm like, okay, I'll see what they want. So I answer the phone. Hartley's like, Daniel, come out with us. And I'm like, no, I'm in bed. She goes, no, we're drinking with the Lynn's. It's so much fun. Like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in bed. She goes, stop being a little girl. Get out of bed. Put your clothes on. We're at Uptown Pub. And I was like, okay. So I get in the car, I roll over there, and I finally, like halfway there, like she calls me again, where are you? And I'm like, I'm on my way. It had been like 5 minutes at this point. Of course, those are Daniel minutes, so it'd been like half an hour. Anywho, so we get there, I get there, and they run out in the car, and they're like, the Lynns are going home, we're going to Knox Street Pub. And I'm like, okay. So we get to Knox Street Pub, and Hartley's running around the bar, and she's like, Daniel, which girl are we going to set you up with tonight? Which happened like every night we ever went out. And I'm like, I don't know, Hartley. Right, you choose. And she's like, okay. And she's like, first, drinks on me. and she starts pulling out these like $20 bills out of her bra and slamming them on the bar. And I'm like, Hartley, where'd you get all this money? And she's like, I stole it from Mr. Lynn. He didn't even notice. By the way, Hartley, he totally noticed because I've told this story to him before. You owe him about $120. So we're walking around the bar, and Hartley's grabbing her friend. She's like, this is my friend Sarah, this is my friend Lily. She's like, oh my God, Dale and I have the same birthday, August 11th, in case you want to get us a present. And I'm like, yeah, we have the same birthday. She's like, this is my friend Clara, this is my friend Everett, and she just names all these people. She's like, and we have the same birthday, so get us a present. August 11th, 1991. Okay, you got it? Okay, good. So finally she's like, this is my friend Claire, Daniel, it's her birthday tonight, buy her a drink. And I'm like, okay, like I will. She's like, and then Hartley's like, here's the money from Mr. Lynn. And so I'm like, do you want a drink? She's like, fine, I'll take a drink. So we like hang out for a little bit and I leave the bar and I'm like, Hartley texts me like 2 hours later. She's like, did you get her number? And I'm like, no. And she goes, I just see a text message on my phone. Contact Claire McCullough. And I'm like, Hartley, I don't want this like at all, ever. And she's like, ha 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 ha. And I'm just like, all right, you're very cute, whatever. And I end up texting her, and she's still sitting here tonight. So, not to make the story about me, the point of the story, because everything's about me, let's be honest. The point of the story is that I could not ask for two better friends in the entire world than Preston Lynn and Hartley Hobson, because you two have literally done nothing but bring joy to my life since I've met you, and I could not think of two more deserving people to spend the rest of their lives together than the two of you. And I'm so happy for y'all. And I cannot wait to see what y'all do with your lives because I know it's gonna be great. And I'm just so happy that I can be a part of your life and call myself your friend. And I wish y'all the best. And I cannot wait to celebrate your wedding tomorrow. And y'all are gonna have the happiest life together. And I love y'all so, so much. And congratulations.
Hi. How's everyone doing?
Good.
I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, especially friends and family. I know a lot of you guys came in from, staying from Dallas, but we had a lot of people come in from out of town, and we're really thankful. So, if you don't know myself or Bennett, definitely come by and say hi, or anybody in the family, just because, we really want to hear your story, how you came to know Hartley and Preston, and, just get to know, you guys as a person. So if you don't know myself or Bennett, I'm Archer, the oldest brother, and this is Bennett, the middle child. We thought we could provide a little perspective on growing up with Hartley. So we're gonna play a little.
So we're sorry, first off.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna. Sorry, I'm sorry, Hartley. I'm sorry. We're just passing through, and I'm sorry from Vancouver.
We thought we could provide a little bit of perspective and play a little good cop, bad cop. I'm obviously going to be the sentimental type and say some good things about Hartley, and then Bennett's going to try and throw under the bus and apologize at the same time. And good fun. So growing up with Hartley was an absolute hood. She had two ADD crazy brothers who really just never gave her an inch. And, I really think that it, made Hartley who she is today. So one of my go-to stories, I feel like I'm a little bit of a broken record on this. But Hartley, if you don't know her, she was a phenomenal athlete. She could just pick up anything, very, very simply and beat people at whatever sport she took up. And when we were kids, we used to play a game called, arthritis or something like this. We used to we used to play a game called 21 in the backyard, and we would play it for hours. I mean, we would play it for 5 hours a day as kids, just play until we couldn't go anymore. And Hartley, bless her heart, as a 4 or 5 year old, just wanted to run and gun with her older brothers, and we didn't give her an inch, like I said. And this made her, we're taking credit, right? We're here to take credit for her basketball skills? Yeah, so we So it happened in an instant. For years and years and years, Hartley never scored a point at 21. We seriously, like, never ever let her win anything. And I remember watching her play against Bennett. And if you don't know 21, you have to make the ball in the hoop, whatever. The ball bounces on the ground, and she does a fadeaway jumper. So she learned this 45-degree angle to jump away from her older, higher brothers, and then just swished it. And we were like, everybody was floored because we were playing back there. We were like, oh my gosh, what was that? We're gonna let her shoot the next point, and then she proceeded to become this awesome basketball player.
And I'm just gonna be the honest, we never wanted to ever play with us. Every time she would shoot it, I would either push her to the ground, foul her, and be like, nope, sorry. Just run. Like, no, I was trying to, like, get on my brother's good terms because he has an anger problem.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just play with him. It's fine. And then Hartley's coming in and I'm like, I want to play. No, get away. But you know what? It's actually kind of like a blessing because now she's a better athlete than Preston.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good because Preston still can't beat her in basketball, and we like to take credit for that. So yeah, if you don't have kids and want to learn how to play basketball, we're
For hire.
We'll work nights. We know people. We can get in gyms. It's fine.
Another thing that always, more in the past couple years, how like obnoxiously photogenic Hartley and Preston are, and they ran through that photo highlight reel, which that was awesome. That was great, and we're in a little bit of family like group text, but like Daniel brought up like who was it? Yeah, Will brought it up. They're always doing something, and it drives us crazy because it'll be like one day they'll be in San Diego and whatever else it is, and I like always had like an inside joke where I was like, oh, it's Photoshop, because they're like taking a like selfie from like a parasail and like a bald eagle's like flying in the background, and they have this like they both have like this, they like have adopted the same smile. I swear to God they have. They have this just like they have this like same look to them, and but they just they rock out at life, and they go on these crazy adventures, and that's what makes their relationship so awesome.
And that's also surprising that they're so photogenic, because I don't know, there's a reason why we didn't show really many pictures of Hartley in middle school. And the ones that were, she didn't have two front teeth because they were huge. Like every time she smiled, it weighted down. That's probably why she got scoliosis. She was like, and I mean, she also had headgear, and I'm sorry that we gave you such a hard time for that, because that was probably brutal. And you know what? You endured a lot. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not really sorry for it. It's what we're supposed to do. I mean, headgear, stop it. Stop staring at my headgear. But it's fine. It's worked out. After all,
It worked
that,
out for you.
Braces,
We did it all on good fun.
braces, headgear, scoliosis, it made you what you are today.
Yeah.
So there you go. That back brace. Good for you.
Yeah. What Ben was trying to say is that we were doing it on purpose to make you a better person. I think my last point is I love their relationship dynamic. If anybody knows our family, Rob is the very relaxed person in the family. It's probably a little bit of an understatement. And I think Hartley very much adopted that personality. And so I love that Preston is like the decisive, like Energizer bunny. And then Hartley's just like, I'm here for the ride, whatever we're doing. And like, okay, we're going to this place. Okay, we're flying here. Okay, we're going to go and like eat. We're going to do whatever. Like, fine.
And being laid back with two older brothers and dad like Rob. So Hartley has so laid back, and I think everyone's that's close to her knows this. Her toots are the worst.
Oh yeah. He did it.
Everyone knows this. She does it on Preston. She's like, ha.
Yeah.
And then she'll just laugh at
Too
it.
relaxed. It's too relaxed.
So Preston, have fun with that.
Yeah. That's fine doing it together, but when you're doing it together in front of everybody,
flatulence is never fun. Flatulence is bad.
Okay, that's enough good cop, bad cop. I think more sentimentally, Preston, we love having you. We love your family. Hartley, growing up with you was just an absolute ball. As much junk as we get through your way. We just love you guys so much. We can't wait to see the people that you become, and grow old together. I don't know what that means. Love you guys.
It's been a pleasure watching you two grow to what y'all are today. Love y'all both. Preston, you've been amazing to her for how long? 7, 8 amazing years already before this. It's been a long time.
Way to make us look bad.
When everyone thought we were getting married first. Joke's on you.
All right, so raise your glasses to Hartley and Preston, and thank you all for being here.
We're so happy to be here tonight. For those of y'all that don't know us, I'm Leah Edwards.
I'm Anna Lawson.
And we've been friends with Hartley for many years, through the awkward middle school phases and high school and so on. And we couldn't be happier to be here with you both. Seeing you from day one to now is just such an incredible thing to witness, and y'all as a couple are so amazing, and we couldn't be happier to be here.
Sorry. I just laugh. Sorry. I get nervous and just start laughing. So, Hartley, I cannot believe we're here. It's you and Preston, high school. Y'all wore t-shirts with swimsuits on them, and that was our date party, and you asked Preston, and we were on Leah's front porch. The memories go back to middle school. We became best friends. I'm forever thankful for you. We've been best friends through thick and thin, and you know me better than I know myself, and I'm just so thankful for our friendship. And Preston, wow, I did not expect this. I just cannot believe y'all are getting married. I literally think back to high school and I'm like, you asked Preston Lynn? It's just crazy. Our friendship is it's unreal. We go back so far, and I literally, who y'all are in front of me today, if you had asked me freshman year of high school where we would be right now, I would have never expected this, and I'm so thankful for who y'all are and who you've become, and I love y'all so much. Literally the day y'all got proposed, the weekend y'all went to Italy, y'all visited me and Daniel in New York, and that was so incredible. Y'all's quest for adventure is incredible, as many have said tonight. Y'all just seek adventure and you live life and you live it to the full, and I'm so excited to see where it continues to go. So I love y'all, thank y'all, and Lynn's and Hobson's, thank y'all for this weekend. It's been incredible so far, and it's just the beginning. So thank y'all. So cheers to the Lynn's.
My name is Hunter Harmon. So Gurn's leaving, so get on back. I've known Preston since I was going into my freshman year of high school, and lots of Mountain Dew. Has been drunk together. Came at an interesting time in my friendship with Preston. My parents were getting divorced, and Preston could drive. So we just got in his car a lot. We called it the Rhino. It was the ultimate high school car. It was this silver Dodge Ram. Had KC lights on the top. Had a car radio that you could speak into the speaker, and it was terrible. We terrorized lots of people. But kind of where our friendship grew from, and I'm thankful for those times where we used to just drive around. Tom, thanks for the gas money where we would burn around. But first off, I just kind of want to recognize y'all's families, Preston and Hartley, amazing family that y'all are bringing together. Whenever I walk in your house, Mr. and Mrs. Lynn, I felt welcome. Britton, Larson, y'all have always been so great to me and felt comfortable around you. Archer Bennett, got to know y'all a little bit more over the bachelor party. won't share those stories as much, but Mr. and Mrs. Hobson, whether you knew it or not, we shared some time in y'all's den growing up through high school, having some friends over. So, yeah, I can't say more that I can't wait till, hopefully, pause, y'all have kids someday, and I hope my kids are friends of y'all's kids, because y'all's families are incredible. So I guess what I'll kind of do is just talk a little bit, real quickly, kind of a story, as I've known Preston since high school, and the guys who've spoken now, I've kind of known Preston since college. So Preston and I's favorite movie is Wedding Crashers. And well, I hope no one is crashing this wedding here tonight. I'll share just kind of some brief synopsis of the movie, and then a little bit similarities in Preston and I's relationship. And Hartley, as it should, it will circle back to you as you are the light and the best part of his life. So there's a part in the movie, and it kind of starts at the beginning, where the two guys who are the wedding crashers are at the Lincoln Memorial, and they're sitting on the steps and they're sharing a bottle of champagne. And he goes, "I bet that blonde's a shot of life." Well, she is, and you're lucky to have her. So I'll kind of share, through the years, just serendipitously, Preston and I have kind of found ourselves at moments similarly, where we're just sitting together, just us two. First off starts in Breckenridge. I was a sophomore in high school and got to go on spring break with the Lynns. And drove over to Keystone Mountain. We're just up on the mountain, and Preston and I are sitting there, just got to go through the phases where he wore the visor upside down, and just terrible. Glad you loved him through that, but Preston and I are sitting on the mountain, and just kind of like, man, just living the dream. I mean, 16 years old, just living the dream. Looking out over everything, there's not a care in the world. Kind of the second moment, we're seniors in high school. We had gone through, what we thought was the best part of our lives in football, and you saw a picture of number 50 up there. I'm glad you lost the weight. But we decided to hop the fence at Highlander Stadium. We climb up to the top, and we're just sitting there right before we graduate, and we're 18 years old, and we have no idea what life's to come. And sitting up there, we're like, man, this is the best part of our lives. We're looking over downtown, and it's great. And then come sophomore year, Preston comes down to UT, where I went to school, and came down from TCU, and we're going to this thing called Roundup, which is fantastic, big Greek weekend, and lots of camaraderie, should we call it. And we're sitting on top again of the SIGEP house, and we're looking at all these people down there, just waiting to get into this party. Preston and I, have a cold Keystone, which was the greatest beer we had at that point, and kind of cheers each other, and we say to ourselves, man, can't get better than this. This is great, just living the life. Then senior year, this is a little bit longer story. I'm walking down the beach with my girlfriend, Brenna. We decided to take a little moonlit stroll, probably around 3 a.m. Mom, close yours. And there's some people on some beach chairs just down the right of us. And I'm a little upset. Like, I want to have this quiet evening with my girlfriend, right? Senior year at Cabo, great. And I'm kind of looking over there, and I'm like, hey, find your own beach. I hear this voice yell back, hey, get out of here. I'm like, man, I recognize that voice. Start walking a little bit closer, sure enough, it's Preston and Hartley. So I've picked up a bottle of Captain Morgan along the way. Don't ask me how. But Preston and I end up sharing this thing, much to the girls' chagrin. And we keep taking pulls of this thing until about 4 a.m, just talking through the old times. We kind of look at each other like, man, this is the life. This is great. So, what I mean to say in all that is, Preston and I have shared some great moments together, where we just say, this is the life. Preston, tomorrow you're going to be standing up there with Hartley. You're going to be looking across from her, and you're going to be holding her hands, much like you've held mine. And I I hope for a moment that you get to pause and you just get to say, this is the life. And in Wedding Crashers, to tie it all back, there's a guy, his name's Chaz Reinhold. And Chaz lives with his mom, and Chaz has a skateboard and watches cartoons. And Chaz has this kind of thing where he goes, just living the dream. And he pumps his fists up and down. Preston, I hope, and Hartley, I hope you get to laugh at this, that when y'all get married and when you're on your honeymoon in Bora Bora, that Preston just for a second goes, just living the dream. So for the rest of your life, you'll actually get to live the dream. So please raise a glass to live in the dream. Preston and Hartley, cheers.
Okay, we think Archer and Bennett covered most of it, so we're going to make ours a little shorter and sweet. So, Larson.
Preston, thank you so much for finding someone who brings our family so much happiness and for finding someone who eats as much as we do. All that we hope is that the Lynn double chin isn't contagious. So that's good. I love y'all so much and thank you for all you've done for me through the years.
Hartley, you have continued to surprise me, from your incredible beer pong skills at the Caddyshack night at the country club to beating Preston in basketball at Cooper Aerobics, which that's aggressive for sure, to making people laugh in all sorts of situations. And just truly amazed every time, no matter the circumstance, your attitude on life. So we're so excited to have you in the family, and if everyone wants to raise their glass to Hartley and Preston.
Cheers to Hartley. Cheers to Hartley!
All right, I did this 30 years ago, and that's here, Preston. All right, that's the point of my speech. And I used my phone so I could look like a millennial like the rest of you guys. So, but I'm the favorite uncle because I'm the only uncle of Preston, Larson, and Britton. And of course, you'd assume I'm going to talk about Preston. And I've got the glasses for two reasons. One, I can't see anybody, and two, I can read. And if it sounds like I'm sentimental, it's the allergies. I'm telling you, there's something about Dallas. I get off the plane in Love Field, and the allergies are terrible. Kansas City's nice. But, so you'd assume I'd talk about Preston. I really want to talk about Hartley. In case anyone doesn't know it, the Lynns, that's a unique family. I mean, it's a difficult family. And I just want to say thank God for Hartley. Because if it wasn't for Hartley, I could definitely see Preston being single for a long time. I'm telling you, you sit there and you look at like the Lynns are known for eating, a little bit sassy, and they never stop. Oh my God. I mean, like the boat, you go down to the lake and the boat just goes up and down, up and down. We go in, we go out. We move to the marina, we move around, and Hartley's always ready to go. While I'm just like, I'll just sit here and relax. Hartley's going to go. But I'm telling you, again, thank God for Hartley, she can eat like nobody's business. I'm telling you, like when I first met her, I was like, she's so cute and nice, and then she mowed down all the salsa at the lake house. I was like, we got to drive to town to get more salsa. That Albert salsa is amazing. But if you can't eat, you're not going to make it with the Lynns. There's just, I mean, what are you going to talk about? That's all there is eating. The other thing, I'm telling you, like, I am sassy, and I can be a little bit sarcastic, a little bit of a smart aleck. Hartley's got me beat. I'm telling you, like, she can give it back to Tom faster than anybody. I mean, like, if you don't give it back to this family, they're going to eat your lunch. I mean, they just can smell fear, okay? They're like their herd of dogs. I mean, they can tell it from the beginning. And she can give it back. I'm telling you, like, you joke with her about playing cornhole at the lake, you might just say a little joke, and she will lay into you, okay? So between eating, giving it back, and always being on the go, thank God for Hartley. No one else would make it in this family. There's no way. And I propose a toast to my favorite nephew and my newest niece. Congratulations.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tom's sister, Carla, which makes me Preston's aunt. And as such, I thank God every day that I am your aunt and you were brought into my life so that I could love you and spoil you, the sweet little boy that you are, and the wonderful, loving, caring man that you have become. I'm so proud of you, and I'm going to try not to sap out on you and cry, because it would be ugly. And Hartley, my new niece, I'm ecstatic to have you in my family, and I want you to know that since we're both grits, as girls raised in the South, I got a couple of things I got to teach you. Number one, at Thanksgiving, we eat turkey and dressing. Can you get that? Dressing. And number two, family recipes are sacred. And eventually I will teach you the secret to making my world famous chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. Preston, through the years, you and I have had wonderful travel and culinary adventures together. And you have carried that on with Hartley, and there will be more to come, and I'm going to be involved. Just so you know. I'm not going anywhere. Preston, I love you more than all the stars in the sky. Hartley, I love you more than all the fish in the ocean, and I couldn't be happier that you found each other and you're going to start your new life together. And I look forward to one day being a grand aunt. And I will spoil your children as much as I spoiled you. Now, I wanted to give you a gift tonight, and in doing so, I thought long and hard, and it had to be something totally unique that every time you looked at it, anybody would know, okay, Aunt Carly gave us that. So I want you to open this can of whoop-ass, and then you're both coming in the Carly jail.
Open it. No. Open it. I don't know. What does it look like? What? Oh my God. Oh,
So tonight is bobblehead night. Nice. For Preston and Hartley. Nice. Very nice. God, I can't even see this. Anyway, thank you guys for coming tonight. It's Friday night. We really appreciate you guys coming on, taking 3 hours to be with us. It means a lot to the Hobsons and the Lynns to be a part of this event. And I do want to recognize my sweet wife, Dawn, who, by the way, Hartley, oh yeah, go, please, yes. Hartley appropriately nicknamed Mrs. Lynn HR. So I'd like to thank HR for tonight. She worked really, really, really hard on this event. So thank you, honey. You're awesome. And of course, I want to recognize Rob and Molly. They have worked so many hours and put so much into this, and we cannot wait tomorrow to see the fruits of your labor. And we're all excited. So thank you. Thank you very much, Rob and Molly. We're excited to merge these families for life together tomorrow night. This is really hard for Dawn and I. But it's funny, people come up to me and they're like, hey, you're just the groom's dad. That isn't hard. It's the bride that's really hard. But, this is our super guy. And, we obviously love Hartley, but it's just Preston has been a really, really special kid. And, growing up with us, he never lost his temper with us. His entire life, he never lost his temper. He never yelled at us. Until the last 2 weeks, we had a couple little incidents. But, no, a lot of stress. But we're not counting that. But he never, ever lost his temper with us. And, that we truly realize how special it is. It's funny, when he graduated high school, we were like, all the other parents were saying, I cannot wait till this kid goes to college. I'm so sick of his dirty room and all this. And we're like, Preston, any chance you could stay another year? I mean, seriously, he's been awesome. He's such a good kid and my buddy. I read something when he was like 2, and it was an article about a dad that gave positive affirmations to his kid. And it kind of hit me, so I started a tradition. So really early on, we started with Preston when we put him to bed, and we would read a book and say our prayers, and then I'd say, "You're a strong, confident leader," and I would say that affirmation to him. And I'm telling you, it made a difference, and it worked. We started, I swear he was like 4 years old, 5 at the most, but we would go to restaurants because y'all heard we like to eat. And so we go to restaurants, and we would send this little kid into the restaurant first, Preston. And we'd say, "Hey, Preston, go get us a table." And he'd walk in, and he'd be like, "Hi, I need a table for 4. Best seat in the house, please." And I'm telling you, he did it every time. It was the greatest thing. He still does it, by the way. It's awesome. And he had so much confidence as talking to adults at an early age. He and I have this game we started, I don't know how many years ago, but everywhere we go, we strive to be the favorite customer of the waitress or waiter or Home Depot person, wherever it is, wherever we are, we walk and we try to strive to be their favorite customer. And as y'all know, sometimes people don't like their jobs too much, and so we have some tough customers along the way. And people will, a waiter might leave the table and he's really grouchy, and he leaves the table, and I look at Preston, I'm like, "Can we break him? Can we break him?" And he's like, "We can break him." And so we strive to do that. We've always done that. It's been a fun game, and we succeed most of the time. And I'm happy to report Hartley and him are doing that as well. Preston called me, 2 weeks ago to say that they'd got their marriage license. And he said, "Man, it was awesome. We had so much fun." But he said, for some reason, everybody down there they didn't want to be there. I mean, even the people getting their license, it was like they were being forced. But we had a blast. And he said, the lady that helped us she was grouchy. But you know what? Harley and I broke her, and we were for sure her favorite customer that day in Dallas. So thank you, Hartley, for keeping up the tradition. Another thing that we taught Preston early was to respect policemen and to say thank you and introduce yourself and say hi to any policeman whenever you see him. And it served Preston well all the way through high school. He definitely got to know the policeman well in a positive way. There were a few negatives, but mostly positive. But we did have one incident one time. We were driving home, and Preston was in the back seat. I wasn't paying much attention to him, and he's in his car seat. And I looked in my rearview mirror when we turned on our street, and there was a policeman following me. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird, quiet street. And then we pull into my driveway. Sure enough, the policeman's there too. So I jump out of the car and I say, "Hey, how you doing? Can I help you?" And he was like, "Well, yeah." He said, "When you drove by my police car, there was this kid in the back seat waving frantically, and I thought he was being kidnapped." True story. It really happened. A lot of explaining to do, but it worked. So you can tell, I've had such a fun time being Preston's dad. I mean, it really has been amazing. My favorite all-time years, of course, was his senior year in high school, and especially the fall year. And anyone that didn't know him in this room back his senior year, he was all about one thing. Anybody know what that was? It wasn't Hartley. Football. It was Scott's football. And between having to have 5,000 calories a day and working out every day, and it was 24/7. It took over our family's lives. And what I saw was August started, and they have a big scrimmage, and I thought, you know what, there's so much drama and expectations leading up to this. I started taking notes, and I got on my laptop and I started journaling. And so I decided I'm going to journal this whole season. And so I started recording, everything the coaches said to Preston, everything that happened at practice, what other parents said at games, obviously everything that happened at games, all the injuries that happened along the way, which, there were a lot of injuries. You guys that played know. And the other thing that was really cool, I recorded the texts that Preston and I sent back and forth before games. And it was really cool. And this thing got really thick. Well, as most of y'all know, the Highland Park guys in here, the season abruptly ended in December, like it normally does. And it was kind of a shock. It was like after the third or fourth playoff game, we all thought we were state bound and something happened and we weren't. And I'm like, you know what? It's 2 weeks till Christmas. Instead of just giving him this book of journals, I'm going to create a book for him. So I went crazy. Again, 2 weeks, no one's busy at Christmas time, right? And I created this book. I got pictures. I edited everything. I got pictures that align chronologically to the season. Without him knowing, by the way. He had no idea this was going on. And, I got done literally Christmas Eve. It was a high, stress event. And then as Christmas Day came, Don knew what was going on. And I've never been so excited my entire life for Christmas, to give him this gift. And I just couldn't wait. And so we got through opening gifts and we're all done. And I said, I got one more gift for Preston. And I went over to the couch and I'd hidden it underneath the couch, grabbed the book, handed it to him, and I said, hey, here, I got something for you, Preston. And so Preston starts opening the book and going through it. And he opens it up and he kind of thumbs through a couple pages and he goes, God, Dad, this is awesome. Thanks. And he puts it up. And I'm like, Are you freaking kidding me? That's it? That's all you got? And I kind of looked over at Dawn and she was like, and so, I just kind of sat there, and then we have not a tradition, but after gifts, I say, everybody go put your gifts up in your room. And so I sat down and started picking up the trash, and as I do, kind of just pissed off, and I'm, leave that. And then about that time, I hear this thundering steps down our staircase, and here comes big Preston in the door, and he's like, oh my God, Dad, I actually opened the book. This is awesome. And he runs to me and gives me the biggest bear hug ever. And, okay, hold on, give me a second. But then, so we embrace and we hug, and he steps back and he goes, hey, will you read it to me? And chalk that up as the greatest dad moment ever. And we started reading it that day, and we decided, you know what, we'll just read a couple pages a week. We don't want it to end. And as it turns out, graduation was really close, and I started looking at the book, and I'm like, you know what, we'll finish this thing the day after graduation, and let's make the emotions even higher, right? And so I went and got a bottle of scotch, Highland Park scotch, right? Yeah. And so we sat down the day after graduation and went in the living room and, read the book and kind of shut it together, kind of shut the chapter on his high school life and, toasted the book. And, Preston, that was one of the greatest moments of my life. So thank you. So I'll finish up. Let's move on to the couple here. Man, we love Hartley. Y'all, you know what she is. She is so awesome. She is such a big part of our life right now. I can't imagine her in our life. We, as was said earlier, we're a really loud family. And I can't imagine how intimidating we are to have a couple or a girl or a boy come join us at dinner. And my goodness, Hartley joined us and it was like she took over. And I will tell you, she's louder than us. And I said this earlier, but someone said it, but she walks in our back door, and it's so awesome. We'll be napping or doing something, and it'll be like, hello, I'm here. Every entrance she comes around, and I love it, just love it. She's so awesome. And they are the perfect couple. I've never seen a couple spend so much time together and enjoy each other so much. So crazy. Truly a relationship made in heaven. So I think that's where I'll end up here. We couldn't have, we couldn't have hoped for a better son, and we, of course, could never dreamed of a more perfect wife for Preston. So Hartley, we love you. We love you. We love you. Preston, thank you for an amazing 26 years. We love you. And here's to the couple.
And as a father, you can really appreciate that moment. I thank you for that. That's really illuminating, and I thank you for hearing it. What mic? All right. So, when you come to these events, you say, my God, here's a merger of two families. And you start looking at people and you say, do they all have the same interest as you all have? Will they fit? Well, they fit. We all have values as families, and when it all comes down to it, where we end up and how we value our families is very important. It's probably the most important thing in our lives. And the Lynns have a strong family, as well as the Hobson side of the family. And to see these two come together is really, God, it's amazing. I want to thank you all, the Lynns and the family, for and bringing us all together, and Preston and Hartley being the impetus to that. And I want to thank my family for showing up and bringing their input in here. But I want to share a little story with you. And this goes back a while. My Hartley and Preston started dating back when they were juniors. And as a father, you say, those guys they'll be coming and going You got a pretty daughter, she's popular. She's got a lot of boyfriends. Well, Preston kept hanging around. And kept hanging around. And, living in the house, he'd come on over. And my wife would like to kind of listen to their conversations. She just kind of nestle up and try to hear what was going on in those conversations over there. What was he saying to her? Well, one of the conversations went like this. And I told you this one time. Preston was talking to Hartley. He said, I want to marry you. Junior high school, senior in high school. I'm saying, that's never going to happen. And so the conversation goes on. My wife's reiterating this to me, and she's saying, this Preston guy's already talking about marrying Hartley. I'm saying, it's a long ways away, They haven't gotten out of high school. Hartley comes up to Mom later and she says, Mom's talking about, I heard him saying that he wants to marry you. She says, I'm not marrying that guy. So, here's to the guy she's not marrying.
All right, thank you very much. Just to clarify, we were seniors in high school the whole time we were dating. But everyone, thank you so much for being here. It's so great to meet the entire Hobson family, and half of it. It's a very large family. I'm so excited to be a part of it and bring the joy to that family. It means so much that all of you can make it here tonight. I've known most of the people in the room for a very long time, and it means a lot to have you guys here and be supportive to our relationship. And I hope all of you can hold us accountable the rest of our lives and make sure we live a good life to each other. Hartley, first and foremost, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I know everyone says it, but I have so much fun. You're the happiest person in the world. And I couldn't imagine not having a day without you. It's hard. The bachelor party, I'm sure everyone saw, I was texting her the whole time. I mean, it's really hard being away from her. It truly is. We have such a good time together. Hobson family, Miss Hobson, Mr. Hobson, you guys have worked so hard for this wedding this week. I really appreciate it. It has been very, very difficult. And we have, as you can tell, there's 90 people at the rehearsal dinner. The wedding's going to be pretty big. So it's a lot of stress. So thank you so much for all the hard work, all the times you forced us to come over and discuss it at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. It's going to pay off tomorrow. Thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much for helping keep it all together, but we've had some great times. Can't wait for more Port Aransas trips. They're great. We'll get you to Cancun soon. Don't worry. Mom and Dad, Mommy, Big Tom, thank you so much for everything. I've never gone a day without realizing what you guys have done for me, and I don't take it for granted at all. Everything you've done has just been incredible, supportive. Football, you took Fridays off all the time. I mean, you saw how hard I worked to try to start, and just you took it over as your life to make sure I had whatever I wanted. I don't know if you guys know, at the end of the games, we took the bus home, and I would be texting my dad exactly what I wanted from Pluckers. It'd be 20 wings, 5 of this, 5 of this, 5 of this. He'd have it all sit out on the couch ready to go with the sauce, the TV going of the replay of the game already. I mean, he did everything. It was unbelievable. My mom yelling super guy at the quietest moment of the game. She would yell it just so everyone knew that I was out there. Thank you so much, and thank you guys so much for all that support. And thank you for letting all of us grow up the way we grew up. You weren't the kind of parents that people are scared of. You let Matt, Jordan, William, Hunter, and I have good times pretty much every night of the week. It was incredible. I mean, we all got to be such good friends. All of us went to TCU together. All of us went to be SAEs together. It was incredible. Thank you for being such a cool mom and dad together. My sisters, thank you so much. Larson, Britton, thank you for being here tonight, our whole life. Britton, we grew up together, and you've been in and out. I'm so glad you're here right now. I'm sad you're moving off to Denver, but as you know, Britton, Hartley and I like to travel, so we'll see you soon. Larson, so glad you followed us to TCU. Archer, Bennett, I think everyone, half this room over here, got to really know those two guys a little bit more. Those are some of the most fun guys in this room right now, and I know that for a fact. We're so blessed to have them. It's a part of my family. Can't wait to have Thanksgiving, Christmas with you guys, because Hartley came to our Christmas or Thanksgiving this year. We do a little different. We're not whipping out the drinks, getting real sauced. And then I'll come over and meet you guys after, and it's like a party. It's completely different, and it's so fun. I can't wait. I literally can't wait to join the families. It's going to be a great time. I don't even think honestly, I think that, I don't know. All the out-of-town guests, thank you so much. I know we lost a couple people that couldn't make it. Kristen Hazen, sorry, shout out. She couldn't make it tonight. But thank you for everyone that made it from out of town. And my mom, thank you so much for hosting this event. You truly worked very, very hard. So thank you very much. Raise a toast to Hartley and I. I cannot wait to marry you.